A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online, and here we are back with our session for UGC NTA NET Paper 1 for your June 2024 cycle, that is your upcoming cycle. And here we are into the session of marathon series. As you are all aware, we are doing marathon series on various units. We have already completed a unit, that is teaching aptitude, and these next marathon series which we are doing is on higher education system. This particular marathon series was based on the topic of ancient education in India and commission. So let's see how it helps you to prepare yourself. Please do have a notepad with you so that you can take down the important topics, study them well, and keep them ready as a reckoner for your upcoming examination, that is June 2024. Before we go ahead with the session, a very important announcement. Starting with the 29th of April, that is from 29th of April, we will be having new batches on our app, which will be live. And these batches you can join, but how to join these batches, how to go ahead, that are all I'll be telling you at the end of the video. So make sure that you are attending the classes very well, the questions very well. Do put your scores also, and yes, do practice the concepts properly so that it will help you in your preparation in order to crack the examination. So next, let's start with the first question. The first question is all about which of the following are considered as Vedanganas in the ancient education system of India. We have got the options as metrics, grammar, phonetics, rituals, and astrology, right? But very important concept, what is first Vedanganas? It is nothing but limbs of Vedas. It means they are the legs and arms of, the Vedas in ancient education system. And this particular Vedanganas, they have six disciplines, okay, that has, helped to develop in ancient time. And these six, you should be very clear about these six Vedanganas, because the question is entirely based on that. So when we talk about the six Vedanganas, sorry, so it talks about what? It talks about Shiksha, which is nothing but phonetics, right? So it tells about what? It tells about the phonetics. It talks about Karna. So it is nothing but it talks about what? It talks about grammar. Then it talks about Chandana, that is nothing but it is talking about the metrics. Okay. Then we have is Nirkuta, which is nothing but which is talking about what? It is talking about explanation. Great. Okay. Then we have a Skalpa, it's nothing but it is the rituals. And then we have finally is the Jyotisha, that is nothing but astrology. So these are the six, as I said, these are the limbs, right? So these are the six disciplines which you basically it speaks about or it tells about. So when we talk about, as I'll repeat, Shiksha is phonetics, Vyakarna is grammar, Chindanas is the metrics, that is the poetic meter. Nirkuta, as I said, it's an explanation. Kalpa, as I said, it is a ritual. Jyotish, it's as I said, it is about astrology, right? So when we talk about these particular six, disciplines, you should very well understand that these disciplines. Now the question is based on that, okay? So when you should be very clear about these particular Vendanganas, which were a part of what, which were part of your ancient education system, right? Now, the question is talking about which of them are considered. So now see, if you see, they have given you the meaning part, right? They have not given you directly the actual words or actual particular concepts which are used. So that's the reason it is very important that you should be well prepared about this particular, Vedas, Vedanganas. So when I say Shiksha phonetics, it talks about, it is related to nose. When I talks about Vyakarna, that is grammar, it is related to mouth. Okay. When I talk about Chandanas, it is metrics, it is talking about the feet, right? When we talk about Nirkuta, the explanation, it is talking about the ears. When we talk about Jyotish, it is talking about eyes. And when we talk about the Kalpa, that is the rituals, it talks about arms. So you should be very clear about this, this particular concept very well so that it helps you to answer the question very clearly. So from the given concepts, what is the actual answer? Let's see. So we have metrics, yes. We have grammar, yes. We have phonetics, yes. We have rituals and astrology. So all these are what? These are your disciplines of Vedanganas. Actually, we have six, and in your question they have listed five, right? But you should know that what they are meant for and what these limbs of Vedas are actually all about, right? Coming to the next question. So the next question talks about what? The next question talks about National Council for Vocational Education and Training. So here they have given you clearly the proper full form. That is, acronym is properly explained. National Council for Vocational Education and Training. It's nothing but an autonomous body which comes under the Ministry of Skill and Development, right? That is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. For what? For monitoring the institutions which are providing short-term and long-term educational training in vocational education. So basically, this is for what? It is for vocational education and designing the standard requirements which are required for these institutions. So we are talking about what? We are talking about National Council for Vocational Education is under what? I have already given you the answer. Is it under Ministry of Education? Is it under the UGC? Is it under Ministry of Skill Development on Entrepreneurship, or is it under All India Council for Technical Education? So as I told you, when these bodies are coming up with the questions or acronyms, you should at least know the objective behind that. Okay, if it is been under any ministry or any body, you should know that, and you should know their, this acronym full form you should know. So it becomes easier at least to start with such questions, and you see basically such questions are part of it. So right answer stands to be Ministry of Skill and Development Entrepreneurship. Okay. Coming to the next question, a very factual question. We have done this very well in our, theory classes. Who among the following enunciated a new policy on agriculture and created a central institute at Pusa? So, when we talk about the agricultural policy, so Indian agriculture research, okay, so pusa was one of the decision which was taken, and all India board agriculture was established, which definitely gave recommendations to the British India government. So when we talk about this institute at Pusa, okay, so it is talking about what? Pusa, who is the one who came up with the new policy and created a central institute at Pusa. So it is talking about what? A central institute, and you have to name the person who is this person who has been authorized with this. So when we understand it, it is basically whether it is Lord Ripon, whether it's Lord Lansdowne, or whether it's Lord Curzon, or whether it is Lord Linlithgow. So when we go into a great factual understanding of this, it is basically nothing but it is Lord Curzon. So Lord Curzon is the one who was, and he was brought up a new policy in agriculture and created a central institute at Pusa. So that is what we have, understood. So you should be very clear about this concepts very well, because in it is related to your education policy. Now those who are not aware, so the name Pusa, okay, is derived from the fact that this particular institute, okay, is known as the Pusa Institute. So that is nothing but the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, which is commonly known as Indian Agriculture Research Institute, which is commonly known as IARI, Pusa Institute. So it's India's National Institute for Agricultural Research, Education and Extension. So you should know this very well. And the Pusa name is derived, from the fact that it was originally located in Pusa, Bihar, okay, as the Imperial Institute of Agricultural Research in 1911. And then slowly, gradually, the changes, started coming, and we got this, the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, called as Pusa Institute. Got it? Okay. Coming to the next question talks about what? In the earlier days of higher education in India, the focus basically was on what? Agriculture, medicine, arts, or law. So, where in the earlier days, we are talking about the earlier days of education, the focus was basically on what? Was it on the domain agriculture? Was it medicine? Was it arts, or was it law? So if you have studied, something about earlier education in India, so basically the main focus was on talking about ethics, humanity, discipline, truthfulness. You have self-reliance. So all these were the values which, sorry, all these concepts were basically under the domain of arts. So it was, the discipline of arts which was basically focused, and the education was mostly done in the form of ashrams, gurukuls, temples. So this was a form where the concept of arts, as in domain of education was taken ahead. Okay, now we have next question, that is statements we have. That's idea of abolition of regulatory bodies of education like UGC, AICT, NCTE is based on the assumption that such multiple bodies are redundant. Okay, statement 2 says that the Bar Council of India has opposed the idea of abolition of regulatory bodies as it would affect the role of apex regulatory body for professions in India. So, what this statement says that the idea of abolition of regulatory bodies was, the first statement sets was, given by so and so bodies, and the second talks about the body which is in the opposition, okay, which doesn't wants to abolish this particular concepts. So if you see statement number one, that is idea of abolition of the regulatory bodies, like yes, because it is based on the multiple bodies, right? It is true. And Bar Council of India has opposed the idea of abolition, which is also true. So this is again some factual questions where statement A1 and statement 2 both stands to be a true statement. The abolishment was supported by whom and was opposed by whom, right? Then we have, at which of the following ancient place of higher learning did the famous royal physician Jivaka, who had cured the king Bimbi, Sara study? Now we are talking about what? We are talking about which of the following ancient place of higher learning did the famous royal physician Jivaka has cured the king? So whether it was Takshila, whether it was Kanchi, whether it was Jatendra Vihar, or whether it was, Vallabhi. So we are talking about the ancient place of higher learning. So which has helped the king to get cured. So if you know, this question is actually given in a different flavor. We have studied some ancient education. Basically, they are famous for what? Takshila you take, Nalanda you take, okay, Vallabhi you take. We have studied them very well. So it is talking about curing, right? So basically, it is the University of Takshila, which was, looking after what? It was looking after the physician, the study, okay, which helped the king to be cured, and not only the king, but legendary, in Asia, had been supporting this concept, this particular study, and this particular study has really helped the country in order to gain lot of knowledge. So when we talk about Takshila, basically it is, it was it is, you can say, it is based on what? It is based on study of what? So study, there are, again, there can be many questions based on this. In fact, in old question papers or in previous year question papers, they have given you a lot of questions based on this topics also. So Takshila, if you see, okay, it was a study of, law, medicine, which helped the particular royal physician Jivaka to get the king cured. So you should be aware about this very well. And it was famous for what? It was Takshila as the city was famous for well, and it was as a university, it was famous for medicines, right? Science, especially the medicines. Got it? Okay. Coming to the next question. The next question talks about what? It talks about the initiatives during second 5-year plan to improve technical education. See, now we do not have much questions based on first year, second year, or next 5-year plans, but yes, one or while there can be a question when it is related to education. So, which of the initiatives were taken during the 5-year plans? So, closure of non-performing engineering colleges, establishment of IIT Madras, schemes for improvement, stipend based training programs, or plans to establish a central institute. So here they are telling improvement. We have to focus on improvement area. So again, this is something, it is very factual question. So when we talk about improvement, so basically it was with respect to the establishment of IIT Madras, improvement for technical institutions, stipend-based training programs, and plans to establish, Central Institute for Printing Technology. So it was, boosting up the morale of the institute so that they can go ahead and come up with something, something achievable, right? Coming to the next question, the reason, they have given assertion and reason, and you have to highlight this, you have to state which statement falls right. So assertion is, it is expected that a meaningful partnership will be formed between the states and union in with respect to education. The reason says that education stands under the concurrent subject as per the constitutional amendment. So it is basically talking about what it is talking about, the meaningful partnership. So concurrent list, okay, includes that the powers are granted by both central and state government, uh, with respect to the areas of education. So which includes technical educations, which includes universities, which includes, the study of both. So here it says that, it is expected to have a meaningful partnership by both of them, and because education is in the concurrent list, that's what the question's reason is telling. So yes, looking at the statement, yes, it is, the statement stands to be true, and the reason, it's something, with respect to what, with respect to the correct explanation. So yes, statement and the reason, assertion and the reason stands to be correct, right? Now coming to next year again for Taxila and Nalanda, as I said, no, these universities, also you will have definitely questions, and there are questions seen. So you should not ignore such topic of ancient education. So the curriculum at Takshila was varied and included technical sciences, but curriculum of Nalanda excluded technical sciences. So it is, we have two statements. It says that Taxila included technical sciences, whereas Nalanda excluded technical sciences. So we just now some time back we did about, Taxila, and we spoke about Nalanda also. So looking at both the statements are very straight clear. It says that yes, both the statements are correct. Takshila included it, whereas Nalanda excluded it, right? Okay, now next we have is, authority and the viceroys and the commissions. So Lord Ripon, Lord Curzon, William Bentinck, or Government of India. Again, this question is something very, very factual. If you are not aware, at least you, whatever comes as a previous year questions, our practice questions, keep revising them, because you never know that what part of it can come. So who was the one who was, chairman for, chairman for the authority? So whether it was Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, whether it was Macaulay, whether it was Hunter, or whether it was Raleigh. So which of them stands to be true, as it is a factual question? So we'll just come to it. So talking about Lord Ripon with the Hunter Commission, talking about Lord Curzon, the Raleigh, talking about William Bentinck, it's all about the Macallis Commission, and Government of India, it is Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So this was, the authority and the matching, the listing concept to them, right? Coming to the next question, important observations of Education Commission. That is 1882 to 1883, that is pre-independence. So it spoke about what? There is a need to replace the dispatch. It is necessary to refashion the general working. There is also the need for local government, or it is important to fund the college depending upon the staff strength, or special grants to be made. Now see here, please try to understand, we have done this, with respect to what? With respect to your, uh, yes. So, yeah, let me first complete with respect to the observations. So we are doing this with respect to the observation. So you have to list down the observations, which they have given. So as per the observations, what was, followed. So coming to the points that whether it was, need to replace, whether it was refashion the working, whether it was local government. So what exactly stands to be correct. So depending upon all the statement given, the observation was with basically the local government fund to the college depending upon the strength maintenance and the special grants which should be made available. So this was something which was the important observations of Education Commission, right? Okay. Coming to the next is Raja Ram Mohan Roy was responsible for the establishment of what? Whether it was the establishment of Agra College, Hindu College, Banaras Sanskrit College, or Serampore College. So when we talk about, the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, so he was basically, that is, which we call now as, the Presidency University. He was basically, which was earlier known as Hindi College, so was formally opened on 20th of Jan 1817 by Rajaram Mohan Roy, who was one of the great social reformers, right? Okay, coming to the next question is again we have statement questions. Now what these statements says is in the Vedic age both men and women had access to education. Wood's dispatch committee recognized the first time that the government should give frank and cordial support to female education. That's what it was talking about. Okay. So, going for both the statement in Vedic age, men and women, did both of them had an access to education? Yes, definitely. And dispatch committee came up with a very, a statement talking about a frank and cordial support which should definitely will given to the female education, and that made both the statements stands to be what it made both the statements stands to be true, right? Coming to the next, that is NEP. We have done already the questions on NEP recommendations. So it was talking about the National Research Foundation, accreditation, integration of vocational education, or establishment of national higher education. So what does it talks about? So looking at the statements, okay, uh, and NAP, whatever recommendations we have already gone through. So the recommendation talks about what? The recommendation talks about yes, all the 4 points: National Research Foundation, accreditation, vocational education, and the national education qualification framework. Okay, this is what all recommended under NEP. Coming to the next question, UGC. Now see this, even this question, no, somehow how this question gets repeated in every cycle it's been seen. UGC was established on the recommendation of whom? Who recommended UGC? Okay, so it was only and only on the recommendation of University that is University Education Commission, which came, what recommended, UGC was recommended by University Education Commission in order to ensure, there is a coordination of standards in teaching and research. Coming to the next question, it talks about high performing, yes, high performing Indian universities will be encouraged to set up the campuses in other countries. Okay, and selected universities from the top 500 in the world will be facilitated to operate in India. So what does it say is that as per the globalization, doors are open. High performing universities will be encouraged to set up the campuses in other countries. Yes, but the statement two is not it's not true that only the selected universities in the world will be facilitated. The doors are open for everyone. So statement two stands to be false, right? Coming to the next question, in the light of changes, okay, introduced to the existing universities under the University Act, which are incorrect. Now, please try to understand. They are saying that there are some changes, but you have to talk the changes which are incorrect. Enlargement, introduction of new principle, easier conditions or definition of territorial units, increase in the size of university senate. So, which are of them are incorrect? So, obviously, you should know that, okay, University Act 1904 has been has introduced some changes. So what are the changes? That if you know, then only it will be easier for you to and give the answer for this question, which are incorrect. So talking about the incorrect changes, that is, easier conditions for appellation. Obviously, this is not going to happen because the quality is associated. And increase in the size of universities and senate. So again, this has lot of, legal aspects related. So this is something which may not, come up with, right? Now, coming to next, again, we have a question on NEP. So, according to NEP 2020, at present, the investment in research and innovation is only, 1% of GDP. That's what it tells, right? Um, NEP recommends the establishment of national curriculum framework for teacher education. So coming to the statements, okay. So according to the given statements, when we talk about research and investment, yes, it says that it is, the investment is very low, right? And recommendation with respect to national curriculum recommended the establishment of curriculum framework for teacher education. Yes, it was recommended. The relation does not have any, there is no relation among the statements, but yes, it was recommended, right? Now, the first education commission in India adhered which, the first education commission. So we had, the first education commission. It spoke about which of the, formula, the one language, two language, the three language, or the four language. It adhered to which rule or which formula. Okay. So yes, we have done this. In fact, I'm just, some students, those who are regularly watching the videos, who have done all the sessions with me. In fact, in all these sessions, I have taken this concept very well. First Education Commission, that is, Hunter Commission. It spoke about what? It spoke about, the recommendations with respect to education system in India. So it came up with how many language formula? Recommended what type of language formulas? Okay. Yes, I'm just waiting so that everyone can come up with, try to give little bit of stress to your mind and just come up with, which type of formula. This is very, very crucial. You should be knowing this very well. Okay. Yes, it came up with a three language formula that was English, Hindi, and the regional state language. So this was the first commission, that is Hunter Commission, which came. Now, so when you're doing this, so first commission is called as what? First commission is called as the Hunter Commission, right? So you should be aware of this, what exactly this three language formula, what it was, which particular commission brought it. So this three language formula, as I said, which was brought up by the first in education, that is Hunter's education. And yes, it has came up with this English, Hindi, and the regional language formula, right? Okay. Which of the following institutions has established before Indian independence? So even before the Indian independence, which of them has been established? Whether it is ICSSR, AICTE, or ICHR, or it is, IPCR. Now, this also I've told you everyone that you should be knowing this acronyms very well every time. Indian Council of Social Science Research, Indian Council for Technical Education, All India Council. Then we are talking about Indian Council of Historical Research, okay, and Indian Council of Philosophical Research. So which of them was even came up before independence? So when we talk before independence, it was All India Council for Technical Education, which started in the year 1945. Okay, then we have this in 1965, historical research we have in 1972, and and we had philosophical Indian Council of Philosophical Research that we had in 1977. So you should know this dates very well. It will be really helpful for you, to do this, right? So yeah, that's what we have for the day. So all those students who are new to the channel, subscribe so that you get a daily update. If you want to download the Global Online, go to the Google Play Store, download it. Make sure that you're registering yourself with a registered mobile number. Once you do that, it is important that you have all the content ready and make sure that we have a demo session. You can get in touch with our team, and accordingly, you can also get a combo offer of paper 2 and paper 1 consisting of commerce, management, computer science, history, Marathi, and economics. So which gives a paper one free with that paper one with a discounted rate. So paper one, I basically, you have to pay the price, and paper one and two will be combined. We have our team details given. So do get in touch with us and get your best for your preparation and crack the examination. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next class.